Welcome to the Fun Astrology Podcast for a hump day in the middle of the week, October 15th. Thomas and Kristin here. And folks, if you're listening on audio, I think you're going to get a short stick today because we came to draw. We got all prettied up here so that we could come in and draw.
There are so many configurations to look at, and seeing it is a whole nother story than just hearing about it.
So I would encourage you to come on over because we're going to the YouTube channel, Fun Astrology Podcast. We're going to show it because I think what we're dealing with here, Kristin, is this mix. And just like we said on Monday, I love the quote from Andre Barbeau. It's something that we really need to ingrain in our minds. I'm sorry I didn't pull this out sooner, but everything is in divine timing. He said it is this pyramid, this great pyramid that we keep talking about and will be talking about until we are, it's almost like it's just ingrained as this astrological configuration of the next 7 years, is the most benefic configuration of the century. And its interplanetary partnership will work for the best in a splendid launch of civilization. And that is from who is renowned as probably the best mundane astrologer in the world ever.
It's so beautiful, and it's words that I think we all need to hear right now. And what he's talking about, though, is 2026. So here we are in the lead up to the benefic triangle really perfecting.
Well, and that's one of the things that I think is worth pointing out because so if we consider the hot spots, we have Pluto, and then, of course, the 0 Aries point, Uranus, those are the pyramid. We also are bringing Jupiter into this conversation because at all of these critical points, these planets are seesawing back and forth over these points, just drilling the energy of this thing in.
It's retrograde season. Here we just have Pluto stationing to go direct, and soon we'll have Uranus moving back into Taurus in the middle of its retrograde, and Jupiter starting its retrograde as well. And so when it comes to the degrees that are being moved over multiple times during these backs and forth, it definitely is baking some of these aspects. Saturn is so close to the apex of this great pyramid, and Saturn is the thing that brings delays or challenges and responsibilities. Until it really moves out of this positioning, I don't think that we're going to see it to its full potential of its benefichood.
We are kind of in this, I wouldn't say sleepy lull, but I would say it is this, well, we've said on here a lot, quiet period as these energies are continuing to build. And don't you get the sense that we have the benefic side of this, and that's what Andre Barbeau is talking about, and then we have the challenging side of this, because if we go back to the chart, here are the two challenging aspects. They're called T-squares. We have the Sun and Chiron and Jupiter involved in one, and then Pluto added on this other one with Jupiter. So there's this tension, and yet, if we were to draw in all the good ones, we'd be busy. All these blue lines, it's like, and we could take this, and there's another kite because Mars is down here. There's just so much going on in the chart right now, and it looks like that for a reason, because there is this quagmire of energy, some of it benefic, some of it challenging.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people can see that in their lives right now, where there are challenges that are coming up that people either need to take action or balance, but there's things that are flowing well right now too. So it's kind of picking and choosing what your moves are and moving about them with your subconscious and making sure that you are making the decisions that are pushing you forward to the highest timeline.
Another thought I've had around this is I've been reflecting a lot on Pluto, and that's why I did Mondays on it. You did a great job talking about some of these other things yesterday that were coming into this. But, one of the other jobs, if you will, of the pyramid, and especially let's just focus on these guys right now at Aries 0, Neptune and Saturn are kind of the drivers of this, if you will. And one of their tasks is we have to get everybody on the same page. Because let's just say that this is, I mean, you just look at this and it's so beautiful, all of these positives in here, and yet collectively, we're not ready for that yet. So we have to get the collective ready for the Renaissance.
Yeah, we're in this balsamic phase of Saturn and Neptune meeting, which is that point right before the new moon when there is just a sliver of light left. And that's what it kind of feels like. But the light needs to go away before it can rebuild. And that conjunction is that new moon between them, that connection and that starting point. But right now, we're at a point that things need to fall away before they can begin again.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, I mean, these are in retrograde right now. So we're not, as you said with Saturn, we're not feeling the full effect of this. The clock really doesn't start on this until next February. Right. So we still have this lull period in here. And there's going to be some tearing down and there's going to be some rebuilding. There's going to be a construction zone and there's going to be a demolition zone because we have to get all of it together to where when we do finally step into that new realm, that new millennia, that new whatever it's going to be, then the whole planet's consciousness will be raised, I think, to a point where it can handle it. It can support it. Right now, we can't. We're too nasty. And to confirm or validate that, look at social media for pivots. When we start to see things nicen up, for example, on social media, and I guess Uranus probably is in there too, and Uranus is getting ready to go off the court for a while, for 5 long months. See, we're in this waiting period. But boy, I hadn't thought about that. But when we start to see the change, it's going to show up on social media probably first. Because this is a technology pyramid. Like it or not, this is a technology pyramid.
It is. I mean, air and fire, this is all ideas and belief systems and communication, and it's all starting new. It's at that Aries point, that vortex, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's a great summation of all of this right now. So, yes, we have some things that we're dancing around, and great job of pointing those out for us on Tuesdays and Thursdays to keep us focused on the now. But we also are in this big macro shift, and that's going to be a long, slow process that we will continue to observe. And I know our culture is so much, we want it now, we want it now, we want it now. And this isn't going to happen now. It's going to happen on divine time. It's going to happen on a different clock than ours, but we are going to be able to observe it as the chart continues to unfold. It's been pretty easy to slot all of these things in. We talked about what is Pluto in Aquarius 2025 going to look like. This isn't your 1770s Pluto in Aquarius. It's going to be technology, and it's going to be biotech, and it's going to be robots and AI and all of this. And sure enough, so it's been pretty easy to tell. And I think that's where we can just keep observing, keep dialing these things in. As things bump along, we'll just keep staying with it and not running ahead of it too much, not trying to know it all. We'll just observe. It's a wonderful time to be alive.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of astrology, is knowing that that's where we are in the cycle, that we're moving through that building phase for the new beginning.
Can you believe that, I'm down toward the end of the timeline of life. You're right in the middle. You've got young kids and everything. Isn't this exciting for you?
Definitely. I think that when it comes to the benefic formation, this is a time that it has a Renaissance era to it. This is wonderful to see.
And the thing too is that you could say, what kind of world are my kids going to grow up in? It's an obvious answer. The world you create. So we get to be a part of that. Huge privilege.
I'm very excited for the next 6-7 years when this full benefic pyramid gets to form to its full potential. So I will be back with you tomorrow to set up the weekend, and then Thomas will be back with you on Saturday with Merriman. So until then, much love. Talk soon.